Pride can build you, and it can destroy you. The same force that drives you to become great can also trap you in a version of yourself you refuse to outgrow. And no character lives inside that tension more intensely than Vegeta. A prince born into power, raised on superiority, and forced, over time, to confront a truth he never wanted to accept. Strength without self-understanding is empty. From the very beginning, Vegeta's identity was built on one thing: being the best. Not just strong, but superior, above everyone. That belief wasn't just confidence, it was survival. As the prince of a fallen race, his pride became his anchor. The last thing he could hold on to, in a universe that took everything else from him. But that same pride also became his prison. Because when your identity is built on being better than others, what happens when someone surpasses you? That someone was Goku. Goku didn't just challenge Vegeta physically, he challenged him psychologically. Here was someone with no royal blood, no obsession with dominance, no need to prove superiority, and yet he kept surpassing limits, again and again. And that shattered everything Vegeta believed about strength. At first, Vegeta responded the only way he knew how, with aggression, with denial, with an obsession to reclaim his place at the top. Because losing wasn't just defeat to him, it was identity collapse. If he wasn't the strongest, who was he? And that's where the real conflict begins. Not between Vegeta and Goku, but within Vegeta himself. Because deep down, he starts to realize something uncomfortable. Goku's strength doesn't come from pride. It comes from growth, from curiosity, from a mindset that embraces challenge instead of resisting it. And that realization creates friction. Because for Vegeta to grow, he would have to let go of the very thing that defined him: his pride. But letting go isn't easy. So instead, Vegeta tries to hold on to both, to grow stronger, while maintaining the same identity. And that leads to one of the most defining moments in his journey: his decision to embrace darkness again, to become Majin Vegeta. Not because he was weak, but because he was desperate. Desperate to feel like himself again. Desperate to reclaim the version of him that didn't doubt, that didn't question, that didn't feel overshadowed. But here's the truth. Running back to who you were doesn't solve who you've become. It only delays it. And that's exactly what happens. Because even in that state, even with increased power, something feels different. The satisfaction isn't there. The certainty is gone. And for the first time, Vegeta is forced to confront something he's been avoiding. His pride is no longer enough. That moment, when he sacrifices himself, isn't just about saving others, it's about transformation. It's the moment he stops fighting for superiority and starts acting from something deeper: responsibility, connection, purpose. And that shift changes everything. Because now, his rivalry with Goku evolves. It's no longer about proving he's better, it's about becoming better. That's a completely different mindset. One that doesn't rely on comparison, but on self-awareness. And that's where redemption begins. Redemption isn't about erasing the past. Vegeta can't undo what he's done. He can't change where he came from, but he can change how he moves forward. He can redefine what strength means to him. And that's exactly what he does. Over time, Vegeta becomes more than just a warrior chasing power. He becomes someone who understands it. Someone who recognizes that true strength isn't about dominating others. It's about mastering yourself. But that doesn't mean his pride disappears. It evolves. Instead of being rooted in superiority, it becomes rooted in identity, in discipline, in the quiet confidence of knowing who he is without needing to prove it to everyone else. And that's a powerful transformation. Because now, his pride supports his growth instead of limiting it. His relationship with Bulma and his role as a father also play a crucial part in this evolution. For the first time, Vegeta has something to protect that isn't tied to his ego. Something that requires him to be present, to care, to think beyond himself. And that grounds him in a way power never could. Because when your purpose expands beyond yourself, your perspective changes. And that's what ultimately allows Vegeta to grow. He stops measuring himself against Goku constantly. He starts focusing on his own path, his own limits, his own potential. And ironically, that's when he becomes stronger than ever, because he's no longer restricted by comparison. That's the deeper lesson in his story. Rivalry can either break you or build you. If you let it define your worth, it becomes toxic. It traps you in a cycle of comparison where your value depends on someone else's position. But if you use it as inspiration, as a mirror to reflect your own growth, it becomes a tool. And that's what Goku becomes for Vegeta. A mirror. Not someone to defeat, but someone who reveals what's possible. And once Vegeta understands that, everything shifts. Because now, he's not chasing Goku, he's chasing himself. And that's a completely different level of growth. Because the moment you stop competing with others and start understanding yourself, you unlock a type of strength that can't be taken away. A strength that isn't dependent on winning or losing. A strength that comes from knowing exactly who you are and continuing to evolve anyway. And that's who Vegeta becomes. Not just the Prince of Saiyans, but a man who turned pride into purpose, who transformed rivalry into growth, and who proved that redemption isn't about being perfect, it's about being willing to change.